Darren, of the arrangements ahead of this one, battling with the cold weather, has it been okay?
Yeah, it's been a little bit difficult, I've got to be honest. The weather, we've had the covers on the training ground, but it can only protect it to a certain temperature, and it's been very, very cold. So we're at a slight difficulty. We're going to have to train at the ground this afternoon. We're always going to train this afternoon anyway. And then after that, we'll head up to.
Yeah, the good news is this seems to be the last of it. The temperature's jumping up next week, so hopefully this weekend, and then we can crack on.
I'll take your word for that. You never know. Hopefully we get good weather. I mean, or better weather. It's been, the temperatures, and before that the rain was non-stop. So I generally think February can be quite a bad month for the weather over here in terms of games being cancelled and stuff. So I'm not really surprised. But as you say, hopefully we get through it. And the main thing is the games are on. It's important that we continue playing, and there's no more fixtures cancelled. Really, that would be a problem given how many games we've got left.
Is that one of the reasons why you tend to always view March as being a really important month, in that you get to the start of March and some of those disruptions, certainly around the weather, are then easing and you can really hit it?
March is always I don't know why, I do know why, but I have key moments. I feel there's key moments in the season. March is always a big one because April and May, there's not that many games in April. Normally in May, there's not that many games. So once you get through March, you might only have half a dozen games left. And they kind of take care of themselves, really, if you're in a good position. So, but we've got to get there first. Still got a few games left in February. And I think the season's, like I keep saying, it's totally different to any other one. So, sorry. So we'll just have to get on with it as best we can.
With all of that in mind, and with Siriki Dembele and missing out through injury on Tuesday night, I know you said the other day it's all about being extremely careful, and presumably that's what you've got in mind this weekend.
Yeah, he felt on Monday he couldn't train, and then Tuesday we did a fitness test and it was still sore. We've assessed him again this week. The difficulty's been getting him on the grass, because of the weather. So again, we'll see how he is today, and then, hopefully he's fine for tomorrow.
Presumably there's also an element as well. Mo doing well on Tuesday night, I think doing most of what was asked of him. So you'll also be thinking, well, it'd be quite good to give him another go.
Well, Mo did fine, and the one thing about Mo we know is that if he gets a goal, there's a good chance he'll go on a run. And he showed that in the first part of last season. And we know what he's about. No one's forgotten about him. It's just that others have been in decent form. And he's a different striker to what we've got. But no, I thought he did well on Tuesday night. I thought he really contributed. I think you could see his reaction to the winning goal. He really feels a part of it, which is really important. And I keep stressing to these players and to yourselves that the ones that are starting are the easy ones. It's the other ones you have to manage, because you're going to need them. So it's important that you keep them a part of it and keep talking to them and communicating with them.
And speaking of goals, that's the big stat, really, isn't it? Analysing certainly from the outside looking in, the difference between the home and the away form has been the chance creation and the scoring of the goals. I know you said you've been looking at some of those stats. Is that something that you've been paying a bit of attention to and thinking, what can we work on there?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's important it's vital that I look at stats both home and away, and it's easier to do the home one because those games have sort of taken care of themselves. Away from home is a harder one because I've looked at the games, and certainly, as you mentioned, you can lose games of football. That's happening over the course of the season. We all know that. Where I've found it annoying and a bit frustrating is we haven't seemed to be creating anywhere near as many chances away from home. And actually, so with the players we've got, we sort of should be good on it away from home in that sense, in terms of especially counter-attacking and things. But we've only won 5 away from home. I get that, and we need to improve it. We're coming up against a team that haven't lost at home since October, so it's going to be a tough game for us. But we need to find a way of dealing better with the away matches and being more like we are at home away from home. Because if we get that right, then obviously it gives us a bigger chance of success.
You talk about making the most of the opportunities on the break, where your team is set up to do that really well. Is that a case of decision making needs to be right when you get those opportunities? It's about making the right call.
Always about decision making. When we have counter attacks, when we have openings, you know, the middle of the pitch is where you control the game. You don't necessarily win and lose it there. It's just about getting control. The two boxes are where you win and lose games. Defensively, touch wood, we're looking solid. Again, on Tuesday, Pimmy had hardly anything to do, saving the last minute. Apart from that, I can't remember anything. Obviously, we did concede a soft goal, which was not like us. Attacking wise, in all the home games we've played, even the Bristol one where we didn't score, we're creating a lot of chances. I think it's important that, you know, another stat is when we go ahead, that does open up the counter attack for us. So I feel away from home, if we can start on the front foot, that will make a difference. But, you know, you have to respect it. Away games are generally harder than home games. That's a norm, even without the fans. And in many ways, it can make it easier for the home team because there's not that added pressure of the home fans getting frustrated. Look, Blackpool's always a hard game. With fans, without fans, whatever time of season it is, you know you're going to get a tough game. So we have to go there and try and put our sort of footprint on the game and play the way we want to play.
Yeah, their record at home, even though for a number of different reasons they haven't played that many games over the past couple of months at home, their home record is actually quite good.
The home record's good, and it's since October. Like I said, October was the last time Charlton beat them 1-0. So the home record's very, very good. So, listen, we have to find a way of getting a result. Our next 7 games, 5 are away. So we have to improve our away form to still be in the place we want to be. And then obviously after that, we've got a lot of home games. But in the next 7 games, 5 are away from home. So we have to find a way and a formula or away form sorted.
Are Blackpool still playing in much the same way when we saw them before? They had that real pace out wide, getting the ball out there and trying to use those wide areas.
Yeah, they've been playing 4-4-2. They did tweak it a little bit against Ipswich. The boy Hamilton, who is very good player for them, very quick, he's been out injured. So it doesn't look like he's going to be fit. But yeah, they're similar. They get it wide, they get it in the box. They've got good width, they've got good wingers. They play with 2 strikers, which not all teams do. Or they have in the main, especially at home, with 2 strikers. And you know, we have to be far better than we were at home against them. We didn't turn up, and they deserve to win. So in the second fixture, you like to think you could learn from the first one, but we need to just go there and roll our sleeves up, get into the game, do the basics correct. I know it's all cliches, but away from home, these are the things you have to do. It's going to be freezing cold. It's not going to be nice. And these are the games if you can come away with a win, regardless of how you do it, whether it's 1-0 or 4-3 or whatever, it doesn't matter. You know, you get on that bus with a win away at Blackpool, it's always a good weekend.